Now to our commitment coverage. 16 states, including California, headed to the polls for Super Tuesday. Everything from the presidential race to local offices were on the ballot. Now comes the effort to make sure that each vote is counted. And this morning, we have team coverage tracking all that tallying.
KCRA3's Leticia Ordaz is live in Stockton with more on turnout there. Melanie Wingo is in Sacramento with a look at the mayoral race. First, though, a major shakeup in the Republican presidential race. In the last hour, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley announced she is suspending her campaign.
Her decision now leaves Donald Trump as the last remaining major candidate for the 2024 Republican nomination. Haley was Trump's first GOP challenger and the only woman in the race. Haley argued that she was a fresh alternative to the former president and likely Democratic nominee, President Joe Biden.
I sought the honor of being your president. But in our great country, being a private citizen is privilege enough in itself. And that's a privilege I very much look forward to enjoying.
Now, during her announcement, Haley did not endorse Trump. Instead, she encouraged him to earn the support of Republicans and independent voters who backed her. However, former President Trump did receive an endorsement just in the last half hour. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announced he would be backing Trump. McConnell is set to step down as the Republican leader in the Senate at the end of the year. And another major race for California voters was the decision on who to fill the Senate seat of the late Dianne Feinstein. Out of the four leading candidates, it'll be Democrat Adam Schiff and Republican Steve Garvey advancing to the general election in November. We'll hear from both of those candidates and see the disruption that one of them faced during their victory speech. That's later on in this hour. In San Joaquin County, the count so far shows 17% of voters headed to the polls to cast their ballot in the primary.
And this morning, there are still a lot of votes that need to be counted, and some of the top races won't be decided until November. KCRA3's Leticia Ordaz is live in Stockton now at the voter registrar's office as the countdown continues.
Brady and Mike, good morning. There was the low voter turnout in Stockton, but that's not discouraging to a lot of people because many people did come out to voice their concerns looking for change. One of those races was in the mayor's race, and right now Tom Patty is leading with 35% of the vote. Christina Fugazi has nearly 24% of the vote. When all of the votes are counted, if no one gets 50% plus one of the vote, the top two vote getters will face off in November. For the Congressional District 9, incumbent Democrat Josh Harder is currently leading among the candidates and is expected to advance to the November race. In second is Republican and current Stockton Mayor Kevin Lincoln. Regardless of the results, Lincoln is not looking to keep his seat as the mayor of Stockton. And we are told elections workers were here until 2 this morning. So as you can imagine, they need a lot of copy this morning, but they're back at it once again, beginning to count those ballots. The next release isn't expected to happen until this Friday after 5 p.m. In Stockton, Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 News.
Leticia, thanks so much. Here in the capital city, for the first time in 8 years, Sacramento voters were given the chance to decide on a new mayor.
So let's check in with Melanie Wingo, who's in Sacramento, for the very latest on that race and the effort to count the votes this morning.
Good morning. Well, that race for Sacramento mayor is still too close to call, with still many ballots to be counted. And we're inside the elections office this morning. And as you can see, the workers are just arriving for the day after having spent many hours here last night. Those ballots still coming in from across the county and from the city of Sacramento, as the updated numbers are not expected to come in until Friday at 4:15 p.m. That's according to the Sacramento County website. So there's some time to wait here. In the meantime, we did check with the candidates for Sacramento mayor after the polls closed, and here's what they had to say about the contest.
I know that we're going to be counting for a while, but I really think that my message about how we need to restore confidence in city government, how we need to be sure that there's a greater focus and action and results on homelessness, public safety.
There are four really strong campaigns going, and we're all north of 20%, and so it's kind of a four-way battle.
I feel really good. Our team worked incredibly hard. We had amazing supporters across the city. Right now we're in the top two, but there's still probably tens of thousands of votes to count. So I want to see the votes get counted, but I'm so grateful.
I'm feeling cautiously cautiously optimistic. I mean, we really knocked doors and made sure, even up until, yesterday, that we were reminding people to turn in their ballots and get out the vote.
So again, all of those ballots are still being processed here at the elections office. We do expect those numbers to come in at 4:15 on Friday. If they come in any earlier, if we get updated numbers, of course, we will pass them along to you as soon as we do. Reporting live from the Sacramento County Elections Office, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
Melanie, thanks so much. And still ahead this morning, we're going to check in with results on Proposition 1 that went before California voters. We're going to check in on if California will be adding a new city this year. Also, you're going to hear more from the winners of yesterday's primary. But right now, here is a look at the Sacramento City Council District 2 race. Roger Dickinson in the lead with 44% of the votes so far.
Now, let's take a look at the results for Sacramento City Council District 4. Right now, you see Phil Pluckenbaum currently has the lead, 58% of the votes this morning, right over Katie Valenzuela.